On January 30, 2025, news broke that the Trump administration is considering Kyle Bass, a prominent hedge fund manager known for his critical views on China, for a significant government role potentially within the Treasury or Defense Department. This consideration reflects a broader strategy by the administration to appoint individuals with strong financial backgrounds and a solid understanding of international relations, particularly in the context of U.S. China dynamics. Candidate profile. Kyle Bass has built a reputation as a China hawk, advocating for a tough stance on the Chinese government and its economic policies. His experience as the founder of Hayman Capital Management, a hedge fund known for its high-profile bets against the U.S. housing market prior to the 2008 financial crisis, positions him as a candidate with a unique perspective on economic and geopolitical threats. His expertise in finance, particularly in investment strategies and risk management, could be valuable for either the Treasury, where financial oversight is pivotal, or the Defense Department, where economic factors increasingly influence national security considerations. Government interest. The Trump administration's interest in Bass underscores its inclination towards appointing individuals from the private sector who possess a comprehensive understanding of the complexities surrounding international economic relations. This approach is consistent with previous appointments in the administration, aiming to leverage private sector expertise to inform public policy. Speculation on roles. While the specific position for Bass has yet to be officially confirmed, insiders suggest that he could serve well in either the Treasury or the Defense Department. The Treasury could benefit from his financial acumen, particularly in navigating economic sanctions and trade policies against China. On the other hand, his strong viewpoints on national security and foreign policy align with the Defense Department's focus on countering geopolitical threats. Differences between sources. Coverage of Bass's potential appointment varies among media outlets. Some emphasize his controversial status due to his outspoken views on China and the financial markets. Others highlight his qualifications and the potential benefits of his appointment to the administration. This disparity in reporting reflects differing editorial perspectives on Bass's suitability for a government role. Timeline of events. The discussions surrounding Kyle Bass's possible appointment emerged towards the end of January 2025. As the Trump administration continues to refine its team, this consideration indicates an ongoing strategy to fill key positions with individuals who have not only a strong financial background but also a proven track record in managing international relations and economic risks. Conclusion. In summary, the Trump administration's consideration of Kyle Bass for a critical role within the Treasury or Defense Department highlights its focus on integrating experienced financial professionals into governmental roles. This move may signal a continued commitment to adopting an assertive stance against China while ensuring that economic expertise guides policy decisions. As developments unfold, the implications of such an appointment could significantly impact U.S. economic policy and national security strategy in the coming years. The consideration of Kyle Bass for a potential role in either the Treasury or Defense Department by the Trump administration presents several counterintuitive points worth noting. 1. Hedge fund background in government. It is not uncommon for individuals with financial backgrounds to be considered for roles in government, particularly in the Treasury. However, the move to place someone with the specific profile of a hedge fund manager, especially one known for his aggressive positions on market volatility and geopolitical issues, into a strategic government role is somewhat atypical. Typically, such positions are filled by career civil servants or those with long-standing public policy experience rather than financial industry veterans whose primary expertise lies in profit-driven investment strategies. 2. China hawk profile. While appointing someone with a hardline stance on China might seem aligned with the current geopolitical climate, it is counterintuitive in the sense that such a strong adversarial position could complicate diplomatic relations. Normally, a more diplomatic approach is favored in positions that require nuanced understanding of international relations. Bass's reputation as a China hawk could potentially escalate tensions rather than promote cooperation. which may be counterproductive in a role that ideally requires collaborative international engagement. 3. Private sector experience versus public sector needs. The Trump administration's inclination toward candidates with robust private sector experience can be seen as beneficial in terms of bringing fresh perspectives and practical skills into government. However, the reliance on individuals who have spent a significant portion of their careers in the profit-driven environment of hedge funds raises questions about their suitability for roles that require a more altruistic public service mindset. The juxtaposition of profit motives against public welfare can lead to policies that prioritize economic gains over broader social considerations. For speculation and controversy, the mixed reception of Base's potential appointment reflects a counterintuitive dynamic where a candidate's controversial views can both bolster and undermine their candidacy. On one hand, his outspoken nature and willingness to challenge conventional wisdom can be seen as a strength. On the other hand, it may alienate certain factions within the government and the public. This duality raises questions about the balance between assertive leadership and the need for consensus building in government roles. 5. Market influence and political roles. The blending of financial market acumen with political roles is increasingly common, but placing a hedge fund manager in a pivotal position at Treasury or Defense could lead to a prioritization of market-driven policies over traditional governance strategies. This shift could be counterintuitive as it blurs the lines between economic policy and national security, potentially leading to conflicts of interest where economic gains are pursued at the expense of security or ethical considerations. 6. Expectations of financial acumen. The assumption that financial expertise directly translates into effective governance is not always valid. While Base's knowledge of financial markets may provide insights into economic policy, the complexities of government operations, regulatory frameworks, and public accountability require a different skill set. The expectation that a hedge fund manager would seamlessly transition to a government role might underestimate the unique challenges faced in public service. 7. Long-term versus short-term perspectives. Hedge fund managers are often focused on short-term gains and market movements, which can contrast sharply with the long-term planning and stability often required in government policymaking. The push for immediate results may lead to policies that favor short-term economic success rather than sustainable growth or social equity, which is a counterintuitive approach for a government role that should prioritize the welfare of its citizens over market fluctuations. In conclusion, the potential appointment of Kyle Base to a significant government role embodies a range of counterintuitive dynamics concerning the intersection of finance, geopolitics, and public service. While his expertise may offer certain advantages, the implications of such a choice reflect broader questions about the nature of governance and the role of private sector influences in shaping public policy. The report regarding the Trump administration's consideration of Kyle Base for a significant role in either the Treasury or Defense Department contains several nuances and implications that might be easily overlooked. Here are some of the key points and their significance. 1. Kyle Base is a hedge fund veteran. While many may focus on Base's views on China, his background as a hedge fund manager is equally crucial. His experience in finance provides him with a unique perspective on economic policy, risk management, and investment strategy, which are critical in both the Treasury and defense sectors. Understanding the financial implications of defense spending or economic policy decisions is vital, especially in an era of increasing economic competition with China. This dual focus on finance and geopolitics is significant because it reflects a broader approach to governance that seeks to integrate financial acumen with strategic national interests. 2. China hawk stance. Base is known for his strong anti-China rhetoric and positions. This aspect of his profile aligns with the Trump administration's broader strategy of taking a more aggressive stance against China. However, the significance of this is not merely ideological. It suggests a potential shift in U.S. policy that could have far-reaching implications for international relations, trade, and global economic stability. A candidate like Base, who openly critiques China's economic practices and influence, may push for policies that could escalate tensions or lead to more confrontational strategies. The potential for such a shift could be a point of contention and may prompt reactions from various stakeholders, including U.S. allies and adversaries. 3. Integration of private sector experience. The administration's inclination to appoint someone like Base indicates a trend towards valuing private sector experience in public office. This is significant because it suggests a belief that successful management in the private sector can translate into effective governance, particularly in complex areas like finance and defense. This approach raises questions about the potential for conflicts of interest, the prioritization of profit-driven motives over public service, and the broader implications for how government operates in a capitalist framework. 4. Controversial reputation. Base's controversial reputation may lead to scrutiny and challenges in his potential confirmation process. Many may overlook how this aspect could impact the administration's broader agenda. If confirmed, his past statements and actions could provoke backlash not only from political opponents but also from within the financial community and among international partners. This could complicate policy implementation and diplomatic relations, particularly if his views lead to polarized debates within Congress or among the public. 5. Impact on U.S. China relations. The appointment of a figure like Base could signal a more hawkish approach to U.S. China relations, which many analysts believe is already at a critical juncture. The significance here lies in the potential for policy shifts that could affect trade agreements, technology exchanges, and military engagements. This could also have implications for global markets as investors react to the evolving geopolitical landscape. Overlooking the potential shifts in U.S. foreign policy that such appointments may herald could lead to underestimating the associated economic risks and opportunities. 6. Strategic timing. The timing of this consideration occurring as the administration is shaping its team is also significant. It reflects a proactive approach to addressing ongoing economic and geopolitical challenges as the administration prepares to engage with the complexities of international relations. This suggests a strategic foresight in selecting individuals who can navigate both financial and defense-related challenges effectively, something that may be overlooked in more surface-level analyses of personnel changes. 7. Narrative control. The administration's interest in Base could also be seen as a move to control the narrative surrounding U.S. economic and foreign policy. By placing a well-known China critic in a high position, the Trump administration may aim to reinforce its commitment to a tough stance on China, potentially appealing to its base and aligning with public sentiment. This narrative control is essential for maintaining political capital, especially in a contentious political environment. 8. Potential for policy innovation. Finally, Base's background may bring innovative approaches to traditional issues within the Treasury or Defense Department. His experience in hedge funds might lead to new financial strategies or risk assessments that prioritize national security concerns, possibly reshaping how the government approaches funding and resource allocation. This potential for innovation could be overlooked. Yet it represents an important opportunity for policy evolution in response to modern economic and security challenges. In summary, the consideration of Kyle Base for a key governmental role is laden with implications that extend beyond his financial expertise or his views on China. His potential appointment could mark a significant shift in U.S. economic policy, international relations, and the overall governance approach, reflecting a blend of private sector efficiency and aggressive geopolitical strategy. Understanding these dimensions is essential for grasping the potential consequences of such a decision on both domestic and global scales. 1. Candidate profile and expertise. Kyle Base is a hedge fund veteran and a recognized China hawk, reflecting a strong stance on U.S.-China relations. His financial expertise, particularly in hedge fund management, positions him as a potentially valuable asset in roles within the Treasury or Defense Department. This dual expertise in finance and geopolitics suggests that his appointment could be aimed at navigating complex economic challenges while maintaining a tough stance on China. 2. Strategic staffing approach. The Trump administration's consideration of Base indicates a broader strategy of staffing positions with individuals possessing substantial private sector experience. This reflects a preference for experts who understand the intricacies of international economic dynamics, which may lead to more informed policy decisions in both economic and security arenas. 3. Potential roles and impact. While the specific role for Base has not been confirmed, his candidacy highlights the administration's intent to integrate financial expertise into key governmental positions. In the Treasury, his skills could enhance financial oversight, while in the Defense Department, his geopolitical views could influence national security strategies. This dual potential emphasizes the administration's focus on aligning financial acumen with geopolitical considerations. 4. Controversial reputation and public perception. Kyle Base's outspoken views on China and financial markets contribute to his controversial reputation. This aspect of his candidacy may provoke varied public and political reactions, potentially impacting his effectiveness in a governmental role. The differing portrayals of Base in media sources underscore the complexity of his public persona and the implications of appointing a figure like him to a high-profile government position. 1. John Bolton's appointment as National Security Advisor. In 2018, President Donald Trump appointed John Bolton, a prominent hawk on foreign policy, as National Security Advisor. Bolton was known for his strong stance against Iran and North Korea, similar to Kyle Base's critical views on China. His appointment signaled a shift towards a more aggressive foreign policy approach, emphasizing military readiness and interventionism, which resonated with Trump's own inclinations. 2. Robert Lighthizer as Trade Representative. In 2017, Trump appointed Robert Lighthizer as the United States Trade Representative. Lighthizer was a well-known critic of China's trade practices, advocating for tariffs and strong enforcement of trade agreements. His background in law and trade policy mirrored the financial and geopolitical expertise that Kyle Base is thought to bring. Lighthizer's role was pivotal in shaping the trade war between the U.S. and China, reflecting a broader trend of appointing figures who challenge the status quo concerning China. 3. Henry Paulson's role during the financial crisis. In 2006, President George W. Bush appointed Henry Paulson, a former CEO of Goldman Sachs, as Treasury Secretary. Paulson played a crucial role during the 2008 financial crisis, advocating for significant interventions in the financial markets. His deep background in finance and understanding of global markets were instrumental in navigating the crisis, akin to the financial expertise Kyle Base could offer in a potential Treasury role. Paulson's actions during the crisis illustrated how financial veterans can influence major economic decisions at the governmental level. The consideration of Kyle Base for a significant role within the Trump administration, particularly in the Treasury or Defense Department, offers insights into the future trajectory of U.S. policy, especially concerning economic and geopolitical dynamics. Here are potential predictions for the future based on this development. 1. Increased aggression towards China. Given Base's reputation as a China hawk, his appointment could signal a more aggressive U.S. stance on China. This may manifest in stricter trade policies, increased tariffs, and enhanced scrutiny of Chinese investments in the U.S. The U.S. might also bolster alliances with countries in the Indo-Pacific region to counter China's influence. 2. Financial oversight and regulation. If Base assumes a role in the Treasury, we may see a pivot towards more stringent financial regulations, particularly concerning foreign investments. His hedge fund experience could lead to policies aimed at mitigating risks associated with international investments and maintaining financial stability amid global uncertainties. 3. Focus on national security and economic stability. In the Defense Department, Base could advocate for policies that intertwine national security with economic interests. This could involve prioritizing defense contracts that support U.S. manufacturers and reducing dependence on foreign supply chains, especially those linked to China. 4. Impact on global markets. Base's financial background might lead to a more volatile market environment, as his policies could provoke reactions from global investors. Increased tensions with China could lead to fluctuations in stock markets, particularly in sectors heavily reliant on Chinese manufacturing or exports. 5. Bipartisan challenges. While Base's qualifications may appeal to certain sectors, his controversial views could face opposition from Democrats and moderate Republicans. This may lead to a challenging confirmation process and ongoing debates about the appropriateness of his policies, potentially stalling legislative initiatives. 6. Shift in investor sentiment. Investor confidence may shift as the market reacts to the potential changes in U.S. China relations. Sectors viewed as vulnerable to economic decoupling from China might experience declines, while those perceived as benefiting from increased defense spending or domestic manufacturing might see a surge. 7. Long-term geopolitical strategy. The potential appointment of a figure like Base could indicate a longer-term strategy for U.S. foreign policy, emphasizing competition with China as a central theme. This could influence not only economic policies but also diplomatic relations and military strategies in the coming years. 8. Internal administration dynamics. Base's appointment could also affect the dynamics within the Trump administration, potentially leading to conflicts with more moderate advisors. This could result in a tug-of-war over policy direction, impacting the administration's overall effectiveness and coherence. In summary, the consideration of Kyle Base for a significant position within the Trump administration reflects a strategic approach to navigating complex economic and geopolitical landscapes. His potential influence could lead to heightened tensions with China, significant shifts in U.S. financial regulations, and a reorientation of national security policies. As these developments unfold, they will likely have far-reaching implications for both domestic and global markets, illustrating the interconnectedness of economic and political strategies in an increasingly complex world.